Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
No, everyone's going to look at it. It'll be fine. Ready?
Well, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a little boy wants to know if Karren's okay, and what do we know about people with big noses? Also, a 911 call about a neighbor's holiday decorations, and also, do you suffer from gift guilt? All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you surviving the holidays? Are you getting along with everyone? For the most part, that's what I care about. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, and I use the term beautiful loosely. I mean, I've been driving around the town here in the last couple of days during the holiday break that we had, and yes, we did take last week off, and I'll get into that story here in just one sec. But I've been driving around, and God almighty, I mean, just people, stop throwing shit out the side of your windows. Now, I know we do have a landfill about 5-6 miles up the road, but Jesus, have a little bit more respect. I know that we're a pass-through between Charlotte and some of the other major little cities that are around us, but I mean, please, have some respect when you're driving through our town. Or the town of 2,500 people will come looking for you. Come down, hunt you down, and throw your KFC, throw your Bojangles bag back into your car. Now, we did take last week off, and I tell you this because it's Christmas time or the holiday time, depending on who you are and what you believe in. But it's the holiday time, and I was going to do a show last week, and for some of us out there, we went through a whole ordeal with as far as this huge weather front that came through, this Arctic front that came through here recently across the whole United States. And people were like, oh, pipes are freezing and this is breaking and now, people being trapped in the cars and dying and stuff left and right. And here in North Carolina, I'm thinking, it'll be cold. It's not going to affect us. We're not going to see snow. We're not going to see, freezing rain or anything like that. And it might get a little cold, might get a little chilly, might have to put 2 jackets on or a light shirt and a heavy shirt and a jacket on or something like that. And that was it. And I just kind of waved it off. And then, it started getting here. Now you guys know my dad lives with me. My dad's 76 years old. And he's every bit of 76 years old. If you look at him, you go, yeah, he looks 76. He's set in his ways. He gets up. I don't know what time he gets up. He's up before we are. His job of choice, I should say, is to go out and let the chickens out in the morning. He burns the garbage because we are out in the middle of nowhere. We sit on, however many. We are out in the middle of nowhere, so we don't have regular trash pickup. So we do burn like a lot of our paper goods. I know recycle. We do take our cans and stuff down to the recycle center. Like I said, the landfill about 6-7 miles down the road. And, he walks around the house. It could be 75 outside and the house would be freezing to him. So just to give you an idea of what's going on. So this Arctic front comes through, or it's starting to come through. So we're like, all right, let's bump the heat up a little bit. Let's knock it up a couple of degrees. Because normally my wife and I, we only use one side of the house. So there's no need to run the whole entire heating unit. We have what they call a heat pack, which is a type of unit, a 2-stage unit. And, we usually just heat our side of the house and maybe the kitchen area, and that's about it. Now that my dad's here, we run the whole entire heating unit for the whole entire house. So the Arctic front comes through, and it does get a little cold. It gets, I think one night it was, with the wind chill factor was 5 5 degrees. My dad would come out every 2 hours in the kitchen and give us the weather report for the next couple of days. It's going to get to 11 tomorrow. It's going to be a wind chill factor of 2 degrees tomorrow. All right, Dad, got it. I think we're good. Everything's boxed up. We do have some exposed pipes out there on our property here. For the most part, I thought they were solid. I thought they were well protected. We had heat lamps in them. We have what they call heat tape. Everything was kind of boxed up and ready to go. So we go on to the Arctic front comes through, and this is like Tuesday. Wednesday morning, pipes are frozen. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Now, the cold side's not frozen, but the hot side is frozen. And some genius who built this house put the Insta-Hot water heater outside on the outside the house. It's supposed to be an outside unit, but yet all the pipes and everything are exposed. I don't know. It's a design flaw for me. Sure enough, it froze. And when pipes freeze, what happens? You worry about when they thaw out if they're going to break or anything. So we did have a little bit of hot water, but not enough to heat up, not enough to trigger the hot water tank to turn on. So as we're sitting in the house and Christmas Eve comes around and, hold on. Getting ahead of myself here. So finally, we get the hot water tank to work. The pipes thaw out enough. I literally out there with the hairdryer, blowing on them to get the pipes to thaw out. And as soon as they get thawed out and we get, constant hot water, I told everyone this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Go take a shower now because God knows how long this hot water is going to last because we still have 4 more days of this. So once the hot water tank started going, I saw a little pin drop of a leak. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. This is the start of it. This is the start of it. I got a little pin drop leak inside this hot water tank that's nothing but coils and pipes and elbows and turns and serpentine all over the place. I'm like going, I'm just seeing dollar signs. Just every drop, that's $1,000. Every drop that hits the ground, that's another $1,000. So with the AC, with the heating unit, we turned the AC or the heating unit on, and it just ran, it ran on a schedule. And for some reason, my wife says when we were going to bed on Christmas night, she goes, does it feel a little colder in here? I said, yeah, but I mean, we really haven't run the heat all day as much as we normally do. I can feel the thing blowing through the vent. It's kind of cold, but we are on the other side of the house. It's not, 100% like heat coming out of there. It's warm air coming out of there. I'm like, it'll be fine, babe. I like it cold. You like it cold. It's 76 or 56 in the room. Just go to sleep. Next morning, can hear the unit still running. No, nothing coming out of the vents. I'm like, every hour that goes by, I'm thinking, all right, this has gone bad. The engine is burned out. Everything's ruined. Worst case scenario, we're going down in flames. So called Sunday and Christmas Day, called our normal AC guy, a reputable company here in the Marshville area. Of course, they're closed, so I get the emergency line. And of course, the emergency line is full. They have no one that can come out this time of day. And if they take the next day off, closed for Christmas in honor of Christmas. So Monday they're closed. So we're not going to have anyone out till Tuesday. Great. So here's my dad, 76 years old, walking around the house like he's going out to hunt elk. He's got his hoodie on. He's got the fluffy things around his face. He's got a big, huge jacket on. 2 pairs of pants, 4 pairs of socks. I don't know. I exaggerate, but he's walking around the house and he's like, when are they going to turn the heat on? I'm like, Dad, just relax. It's going to happen. Don't worry. Sure enough, Tuesday afternoon, they show up and real nice guy comes out and there was a vacuum tube that engaged the second unit of the heating. All my HVAC people out there know what I'm talking about. Everyone else is just like going, I have no idea what you're talking about. It was literally like a poly tube, about a 1/4 inch in diameter, maybe about 6-7 inches long, that it's a vacuum and it turns off switch that turns the secondary unit to heat on. Well, it was clogged, a little mud dauber. If you know what a mud dauber is, like a wasp that builds nests out of mud. Got up in there and laid a nest, and the second unit, because we never use the heat as much, in that instance where we need the second unit to turn on, it got vacuum stuck and vacuum would not turn on. So long story short, AC's fixed. The hot water tank, I don't know, it's wrapped up in plastic and sheets and all this stuff trying to keep those pipes from freezing. I'll let you know when that happens, when we get down or when the temperatures get up on an average at night above freezing. Because if I go to fix it now, it's going to pop again. So I just left it. And that's where I'm at. So I hope you had a good holiday. And, oh, and all the pipes down at the barn busted too. Yeah, it's been fun. Merry Christmas. Now, Christmas itself was fine. We had a great time between the three of us. Just my wife and I and my dad. And so we had a nice dinner. And open presents and stuff. But the barn pipes froze. And then when they thawed out, they were all broken and stuff. So I'm not too happy about that. I got to replace all the piping and stuff. So that's my life here. Here at DeaconLive. All right, guys, we got a big show to get into. Stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I don't like any of that. Try it again. I don't like any of it.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. A great gets a strip show, dance show.
We're there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive. Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a little boy wants to know if Karren's okay, and what do we know about people with big noses? And also a 911 call about a neighbor's holiday decorations. And do you suffer from gift guilt? All this and much, much more we discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you doing okay? I just hope everyone's getting along through this cold snap, the cold weather that we've been having here in the last couple of days. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And you can find us on YouTube, and you can find us on Facebook, and you can find us on all our social medias. And the way you find that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts while you're over there. We'd love to hear from you. There's a little tab that says Be Heard. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on your tablet, on your smart device, wherever you're listening to us at. Speak right into it. Comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on this podcast or the very next podcast as well. And you can be right alongside of us here in the studio. Now, we had this Arctic front that came through here recently. We were going to do a show last week, and unfortunately, the day before the show, some of our pipes froze, and in the process of the pipes freezing, we lost hot water. Cold water was fine. The hot water got froze up. We had one of those instantaneous water heaters outside the house. I had it all wrapped up and boxed up, heat lights and heat tape and everything on it. I guess I missed a spot somewhere, and sure enough, it started freezing up a little bit. Once we got it thawed out, there was a little drip inside. I'm like, great, I got to fix this. So I'm trying to, figure out the best way to fix that. And with this Arctic freeze coming through, and we have horses and cattle and farm agricultural animals here on the property, trying to take care of those. So I didn't think that doing a show last week would be in my best interest. Being that it takes so long to do the show, I felt that I needed to take care of the property, which was more important at the time. So I apologize for not doing a show last week. I actually had a guy who asked me, what's the best way to do a podcast? And I was giving him all this advice, be consistent, be this, be that. And here I am. I'm taking a week off without notice. Normally, I let you guys know if I'm going to take a week off. But I apologize for last week. But I hope you guys can forgive me. Please forgive me. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, you can see me waving to the camera. Hopefully you guys are waving to me as well. And you can watch this video in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. Lots to talk about today. And another thing that happened this glorious Christmas weekend, I hope you had a great time with your family and everyone. Everyone got connected, reconnected, and enjoyed themselves. We here on the property, we had just my wife and I and my dad. And we were trying to, be as proactive with this Arctic front that's coming through. And it's so funny, all the way up until Christmas Day, my dad was coming into the kitchen like every 2 or 3 hours and giving us the weather report. And my dad's 76 years old, and he's every year of 76 years old. If you look at him, you go, yeah, that's a 76-year-old man. And he would come in there and he would say, temperature this Friday. That was the main thing. This Friday is going to be low of 13 degrees, wind chill of 7. And then the next day we go by and he's like, oh, this Friday the weather's changed again. The end of the week it's going to be this. And finally, I think Friday ended up being a low of 10 degrees, 9 degrees, something like that, once the Arctic front came through with a wind chill of -1. So we've had our problems here. We've had some issues. Being that my dad's 76 years old, we had to bump the heat up in the house. Because normally it's just my wife and I, normally, and we only stay on one side of the house, so we really don't try to heat the whole entire house with the big unit out there, because it's just a waste of propane. We are on propane, which is $3.79 a gallon, and anytime that heater runs, that second unit runs, it's $4 an hour to run that propane heater out there to heat the house. So being that it got that cold, we bumped the temperature up in the house to around 65, 66, something that we can all agree on, and let it run throughout the weekend once the big Arctic front came through. So we're doing Christmas Eve. We had Christmas Eve dinner. Everything was great. Played some cards, laughed and told some jokes. Christmas Day, we did presents, and we just kind of vegged all day. And as we're going to bed on Christmas night, my wife, we go in our bedroom. It seems colder back there than normal. And I go, well, babe, we kind of did a lot of cooking in the house, and maybe the heater didn't turn on, or the thermostat didn't turn on because it's so close to the relevancy point between the hallway and the kitchen. Maybe it got trapped in there. Plus, my dad keeps all his heaters on that side of the house, which has the thermostat right next to it. Maybe it just didn't turn on because that side of the house was really hot. So let's just go to bed. And, we have little space heaters and stuff, so we're fine. So wake up the next morning, and I can hear the unit running outside, and the house is pretty cold, colder than normal. And when I say it's probably floating around 55 degrees in the house, go outside, look at the unit, and I'm like going, well, it's running, come in the house, and there's no air blowing out of the vents. I'm like, well, okay, so what happened? Did the unit freeze up overnight? So I'm trying everything that on the thermostat, emergency heat, double emergency heat, auxiliary heat, and I can hear it clicking on, doing all this stuff, but nothing's shooting out of the vents. So here's my dad freezing, walking around with his big elk hunting gear looking stuff on. And, well, what's going on with the heat? I'm like, I already called someone, but it's, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, or the day after Christmas, they're closed. I'm not going to get anyone out here till Tuesday. Finally, Tuesday comes around. My dad, first thing in the morning, when's the AC guy coming? I'm like, Dad, they'll be here. Please relax, enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having. For the guy who gets up at, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, goes down and lets all the chickens out of the coop, and lights a fire to burn all our like Christmas paper and stuff, because we don't have garbage pickup here, and comes in the house and complains that it's cold in the house. I mean, what do you want me to do? Put you in a bubble and roll you around? Finally, the AC guy shows up, and I know this is riveting, but all my HVAC friends out there will go, all right, so what happened? Well, what happened was there's a vacuum tube. They got clogged up with some mud or something. We have mud daubers here in North Carolina, where it's like a wasp-looking thing that builds a nest with mud. And because the AC unit is a 2-stage system, the second system was asked to help the first system keep everything heated. And there's a vacuum tube that kind of tells it to do that, and it got clogged. It was a simple fix. The AC guy came over, touched a couple wires, bypassed a couple things to see if he could get things to move. And sure enough, pulls this little tube out. Looks like a little poly tube that you would wrap your arm if you're going to do give blood or something like that. Kind of blows through it, smacks it on his leg a couple times, connects it all back up. He goes, good to go. Literally, I could have timed him, and he would have been here less than 10 minutes. And he's like, all right, that'll be we'll just do a diagnostic. That'll be $80. And, people would have said, well, he was only there for 10 minutes. Well, granted, thank God he was the guy that knew exactly what was wrong with it. But what if you were to get that one guy who goes, no, you got to replace the compressor. Oh, that didn't work. And 3 hours later, you got to replace this and the solenoid defactoid and all this other stuff. And then they finally go, oh, because we replaced this, we have to replace this polytube. And then all of a sudden that fixes it. Well, that's the problem. No, and then you got a bill for like $600. Dude was real chill about it. Comes out and he's like, nope, I knew exactly what it was. Bing, bang, boom. I'd rather pay the $80 for him to come in there and point right at it and goes, that's what's wrong with it. That needs to be fixed, instead of having some guy spend 4 hours ripping pieces out and trying to replace it. So we're good to go. Heat's back on. Everyone's happy. My dad's walking around in a T-shirt and shorts and socks. So he's okay. Everyone's okay in the house. And hope you guys are doing well with this big Arctic front that came through. All right, guys, I got a big show to get into. Lots to talk about. Stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on your YouTube channel, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on Social Contacts. You'll see a little icon there for YouTube. Make sure you click on that. Make sure you like and subscribe. While you're over there, Mike, make sure you get some free swag. There's a little tab right there that says free swag as well. Fill that little form out. Tell us what you'd like. We got a bunch of different packs here. We'll mail them out to you. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I got enough shit going on. I got a leaky hot water tank and trying to keep the AC from locking up on us. So fill that out. We'll send it out to you as quickly as we can. And so Christmas time's come and gone. We were going to do the show last week. Apologize for that. Please forgive me. I hope you guys understand that. And but, I hope that everyone got what they wanted. Was everyone a good little boy and girl? Did you get the presents that you wanted? Here here at the household, there was no list. I had no list for anyone. And but what do you get? What do you buy someone that's really hard to buy for, or a gift that's so hard to buy for? My wife always gets on my case. She's like, you're so hard to buy for. I don't know what to get you because, I can't get you anything for the studio because I don't want to buy you the wrong thing. The stuff here in the house or on the property, to fix stuff and do stuff. I don't know what to get. I don't know the quality and stuff. So I'll just get you socks. So I get 37 pairs of socks is what I get. Now she's very, innovative as far as, or ingenious as far as getting the stuff that I need, the little things that I miss, that she's like, oh, you know what? He could really use that to make his life a little easier. Now, for those out there who want to make their sleeping habits a little easier, Dyson, the vacuum company, has come out with a new product. They're diving into the sleep world. The Dyson Zone headset is comfy enough to sleep with, but it still makes you look like Bane from, what is that, Batman? God, what a horrible character that was. The Dyson Zone is The Dyson Zone is an air purifying headphone set. The company has invited us to test this device again. The Dyson Zone will be available this past March for a price of $950. So Dyson's created this new headset. It's called the Dyson Zone. It's got, I'm assuming, noise canceling headsets, and then some kind of, the headsets themselves looks like an intake, like an air intake grill, and then it's got this thing that wraps around the front of your face, and it's supposed to purify the air as you breathe. Not necessarily like a CPAP where it actually covers your mouth and nose. It just kind of stays on your face. It's really strange. And I'm going to switch cameras here so everyone can see it. We can all be friends here on the video portion of the podcast. So if you're looking at this, it's a headset, and this young lady's wearing it. And here's a video that she describes about her experience with this headset. So here we go.
Built into a pair of headsets. So one of the things, like I said, that we learned this week was the price. The Dyson Zone, like most other Dyson products, costs way more than you'd expect.
I gotta fix my hair before I take my picture.
$950. That's a lot of money, but the things, like I said, that we learned this week was the price. The Dyson Zone, like most other Dyson products cost way more than you'd expect. It starts at $950. That's a lot of money, but if you think about it, this is, headphones as well as an air filtration, a portable personal air purifier built into a pair of headsets. So there are two components to the Dyson Zone. One, the actual audio headphones experience, and two, the air filtration visor Bane-like looking mask. So let's start with the visor. This thing is a removable piece that you can attach magnetically to the ear cups of the big, comfy headphones. When you snap them on, the fans in the ear cups whir to life.
That's the fans running.
Pulling in air while using a dual filtration system to kind of pull out pollutants from the air. Now, I want to be very clear. Dyson's been designing this product for years and years, since before COVID even was known to us. So this is not something that's designed to sanitize or disinfect the air around.
So essentially, it's this noise-canceling headset that Dyson has, and the headsets themselves suck in air and filter that air and push it in front of your face, almost like if you were, put your face right up to the little AC vents in an airplane, but it's just kind of concentrated in front of your face. And the mask that goes around the front of your face looks like an old pair of Oakley sunglasses, is what it is. So if you have $950 and you haven't got that last minute gift yet, or someone you got a gift card for Amazon or something, go over there and check out the Dyson Zone and grab that for yourself. Now, I sleep with normal earplugs in and a sleep mask. I know I'm very bougie as far as that. Now, giving gifts between the three of us here on the property, my wife, my dad, and I, we sat down and had Christmas Day together, which was real nice. My dad's like, don't buy me anything. Don't buy me anything. Here's a couple gift cards. He offered to buy us a new refrigerator, but he's like, don't buy me anything. So we're like, first of all, you don't need to buy us a refrigerator, but thank you very much. We won't argue with you. And then gift cards on top of that, we didn't need it. But my wife and I, we need to get something for my dad. Not that we felt obligated to. It's part of, when you have someone in the house, that's what you do. So my dad, like halfway through, he's like going, making jokes about all the gifts. He's like, you didn't have to buy all these gifts. I guess I was a really good guy this year, a really good boy. There's too many gifts for me. And he after a while, he just like, wow, more gifts. I have more gifts. And not that we're buying, $500 this or Dyson sleep zones for him, just stuff that he might need here on the house, transitioning into living in our house. Got him nice warm pullover shirt, couple warm jackets, warm stuff that you would need on a daily basis when this Arctic front comes through. But one thing, when we're all said and done and all the gifts are unwrapped and we're eating my stocking full of like candy treats and stuff, my dad would sat down and goes, you really shouldn't have done this for me. You really shouldn't have. I wasn't expecting it, but you guys have gone way out and beyond of what was expected as far as this. Now, I come across this article and I was like, well, maybe this is what my dad was feeling. And there's a term out there that's called gift guilt. And what do we know about gift guilt? So let's see if this video will tell us a little bit more about it.
So the
Yeah. Commercial. Sure.
Holiday season is really a joyous time, but for parents, it also comes with a side of stress.
It sure does. Here with some advice to manage it all is Dr. Erica Lee, a psychologist with Boston Children's Hospital. And Dr. Lee, thank you for joining us. Getting everyone on the same page during the holidays can be a full-time job, especially if you have young kids. How do you set expectations so everyone can actually have a good time?
I love this question because it is a really both exciting and incredibly stressful time for families. And I always try to remind parents that you set the tone for the rest of the family. And it's also important that you get a break. You know, the holidays they come with so many more activities, so many more plans. And that actually just means a lot more responsibilities for parents. And they're focusing on doing so much to enable these wonderful, magical experiences for others. And that actually makes it harder oftentimes for them to rest, recharge, and even enjoy that time with loved ones. So parents, just try to remember there is no perfect, absolutely magical holiday. It's okay to focus on the traditions that matter most to your family. And it's also okay to say no to some things so that you can all have a more relaxed schedule.
All right, doctor. So we know that everybody's off their normal schedules for the next 2 weeks. Can you give any coping strategies that can make all of that more manageable, especially when you have to get back into the routine of everything again?
Right. So it's really important to be realistic and recognize that so many kids are super excited for this break because they're like, we don't have a schedule. I don't have to be at school at a certain time. I can do whatever I want. And at the same time, we know that a lot of kids actually do better when they have predictable routines. So what I often recommend to parents is it's okay to be more flexible where you can with the schedule, but talk with your kids about what to expect so they can be prepared.
But it's also the time for giving gifts.
Start to gradually move kids back into their usual school routine so it doesn't feel like such an abrupt change on that first day back.
All right. And of course, for kids this time of year, it's all about getting presents, but it's also the time for giving gifts as well. It is the holiday season. Right. How do you balance their excitement a little bit with some gratitude in there?
I love this question. So what I say to parents is take time to practice it. You know, do activities together that are also in service of others, so aren't just about receiving presents. So for example, you can donate old toys or clothes to other people, things, you know, so even if you're just for a tree. So for example, at dinner, you know, what are some things that
you would like our experts to answer?
Oh, that was garbage. The video was garbage. So gift guilt is basically, you know, when you go from planning meals and traveling and shopping for gifts and that are widely understood in the planning meals, traveling, and shopping for gifts are widely understood as holiday stress factors for a lot of people. But receiving presents can also stir up some uncomfortable feelings. This is known as gift guilt. Some may grasp this notion, but it is a real phenomenon. So you may think that you should feel lucky and grateful when given a gift but instead suffering pangs of guilt. Telling yourself, for many people, receiving gifts can be just as stressful, if not more, than giving them, says Dr. Bonnier, a licensed clinical psychologist in the facility on the faculty of Georgetown University. Some don't feel deserving of a gift. We might feel guilty when someone spends time or money on us, but deep down, some situations we might not think of that are worthy of it. Like somehow we are measuring up to what we should be. These people may also struggle with receiving compliments or attention. They feel uncomfortable that someone has gone out of their way to do something nice for them and to grapple with a sense of self-worth. Others experience guilt because they don't think they have experience guilt because they don't think they gave as good or expensive gifts as they are receiving, or they are caught off guard and have nothing in return to give to that person. Human nature is kind of like a valued reciprocation. So what do you do if you think that you have gift guilt or anything like that? Don't overthink it. The commercialization of the holiday can pressure us in placing the emphasis on material things such as trying to buy the perfect gift for someone, but it should be a time of kindness, compassion, and gratitude. So make a conscious decision to focus on good things and enjoy them. A key to remember that while we cannot control the gifts that we get, we can control how we act to this holiday season. We can take the time to regulate any negative emotions over the holidays and be intentional about what we really get out of gift giving and all our interactions, a sense of connection and joy. So if you get a gift out there and I don't deserve this, you've done too much. You've heard that a million times. Oh, you shouldn't have bought me this. You shouldn't have bought me this. Turn around and kind of change it to a positive thing. Like, we appreciate you. I appreciate you thinking of me. This is, too much. Because I think maybe, I mean, there's a small select few of people that will sit there and go, well, I gave, Tommy something. Why didn't they give me something? Why didn't Tommy get me something? Well, if that's your main, if that's your idea of giving gifts to someone so you get something back, then you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong game, man. You're playing the wrong side of the field. It's all about, hey, you know what? I think that not you deserve this, but this is what I want to give for you, because I appreciate you as a person as far as who you are. It's the way you got to look at it. Get over the guilt. I know it's like, why are you depressed? Just be happy. It doesn't work that way. But for the most part, that's what happens there. All right, when we come back, is it time to take down your decorations yet? And this one family gets 911 called on them because of their decorations. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be part of the show? We'd love for you to be part of the show. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the Be Heard section and opens up a microphone on whatever device you are on listening to us. You can be anonymous if you want. Speak right into it. You can ask us any questions. You can just say, hey, shout out to this and that, or whatever you got going on there. We would love to just hear from you in general. Now that the holidays are gone, when do you take your decorations down, inside or outside? Now, I know growing up, my birthday is actually January 6th. I know, I'm getting a lot of flack for that. But growing up, my mom, would take the Christmas lights down like right after the first of the year, or the weekend right after the first of the year. And I would always be like, no, leave the Christmas lights up and stuff for my birthday. My mom's like, no, we're not trashy people. We don't leave those up until, 2 weeks after Christmas. That's just trashy. So, but when's a good time to take them down? Well, I found this news article that says Christmas is really over when we are all staggering into the new year. The holiday season is often the same for everyone. Hungover, wondering if Christmas ham is edible, eating away, blah, 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 blah. Oh, shit, don't want to do that. Eating it away and questioning when do we put away our Christmas decorations? Traditionally, many Americans recommend keeping Christmas decoration displays up until January 6th. Ha-ha! I win! When the 12 days of Christmas ends. If you own a plastic Christmas tree, cleanup is fairly easy. Simply put it in a bag, put it in the box, store it up in the attic for the next 11 months or so. However, if you adopted a real Christmas tree, there's a little bit more work to be done. The easiest way to dispose of an authentic Christmas tree is to recycle it. How do you do that? Besides calling the council to see if it can be picked up with the heavy trash, you can always be a little smarter by doing this. There are endless possibilities to reuse wood, twigs, pine needles, and create something unique. For example, coasters, wreaths, candles, and infusions. Sure, that's what I want to do on my Christmas tree. However, when you take down your holiday decorations, whenever you do, that's fine. Just don't be that one neighbor that has the Christmas lights up year-round, all the way twinkling in February and sometimes March and May. I know they do that a lot in Florida. Do they do that in your town where it's too... Well, a lot of people, maybe they can't take the Christmas decorations down outside because they've got 4 feet of snow outside for any length of time. They're like going, I can't get the ladder up. I don't want my husband to fall off the ladder and land in the nice, soft, cushy snow. Well, so I guess the traditional deadline is January 6th, which is my birthday. So I want everyone out there to think of me January 6th and go, oh, we should take down our Christmas lights the day after in honor of my birthday, and I'd appreciate it. Now, in honor of one of the funniest Christmas movies out there, this neighbor, this one homeowner, decided to put, not necessarily a nativity scene outside. He wanted to recreate his favorite Christmas movie, and the neighbors called 911 on him. Now, you ask yourself, all right, Christmas movies that would offend people. Well, there's a debate between, Die Hard. There's a debate between a bunch of other different movies. Well, this movie right here, homeowner right here, decided to do a Cousin Eddie display in Kentucky. Well, it doesn't shock me because that's where Cousin Eddie's from. For more on the story, You can see this right here. For every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and we'll all watch it in real time right here. So a confused neighbor calls 911 after seeing Cousin Eddie out in front of her neighbor's yard. So here we go.
Have a male standing outside. He is naked. He has a robe covering part of his body. He is exposing himself, and he has a hose between his legs.
All right, a strange 911 call, a neighbor on edge. The Kentucky Christmas decorations that got the cops called. Just because the decorations go out,
lights in the bushes, maybe a little Santa Claus,
doesn't mean officers can mail it in.
Never a dull moment.
Duty still calls it Christmas time in Shepherdsville.
Have a male standing outside. He is naked. He has a robe covering part of his body. He is exposing himself, and he has a hose between his legs.
Not exactly the holiday spirit on display in the Dogwood Run subdivision. At least that's what one caller said. When police got there,
the cops were here laughing, taking pictures.
Oh my God, the police actually did show up. Here's the security camera.
Oh, Cousin Eddie.
Save the neck for me, Clark. It was full.
The cringy character from...
Yeah, that's a good one.
Everybody knows the words to it. Everybody's seen it 100 times.
Joni Keeney brought the gassy, foul-mouthed relative with a plumbing problem. From her favorite Christmas movie to her front yard.
Everybody has a Cousin Eddie in their family. Everybody. She told me she was looking for a mannequin, and I was like, oh, Lord, here we go.
Keeney found this one, put a robe on him, a cigar in his mouth, and a beer in his hand.
We don't drink, so we had to borrow our neighbor's beer can. My husband drank
Right.
the beer so she could have the beer can.
What a guy.
The chair we got off Facebook Marketplace.
And she used artistic skills from deep within for the outline of the cat.
So remember when the cat got electrocuted underneath the tree? They actually have a little lounge chair with a burnt imprint of the cat underneath the chair. She went all out on this. And they actually had the snow slider, the little metal disc that they lubed up to where it could go down the hill real fast. All burn out and stuff on this display, so.
R.I.P.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
A Rottweiler from next door even posed as Snots.
Before we left, he drank a half a quart of Pennzoil.
For a pic.
I just want people to have a good Christmas and get a laugh. It's the best. It's the best, I think. It's been a hit with the neighborhood.
Everyone except that lady who called the cops. But it can be difficult to see through the blinds, right?
We'll give it that excuse, yes.
Yeah, I guess Todd and Margot never had trouble.
And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot.
In Bullitt County with photojournalist Dominic Furman, Chris Suter, WDRB News.
Well, there you go. So, obviously, they didn't realize it was a Cousin Eddie display, and so the neighbors called 911 instead of just knocking on the door or going over there and saying, hey, you know, what do you got going on over there? There's a naked man out there in your yard. All right, people, get your glasses checked out. All right, when we come back, do you have a big nose? Well, you might be a hit with the ladies. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. You motherfucker. You fucking piece of shit. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. If you'd like to be part of the show, we'd love to hear from you. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on Be Heard. Opens up a microphone on your device that you're listening to us from speak right into it, and you can be part of the show at any given time. Comes right to our inbox. We'll play it on the very next podcast. And make sure you like and subscribe to us over on YouTube and follow us on Twitter, TikTok. We got a bunch of TikTok videos up there. Yes, we have stretched into the TikTok world. So make sure you follow us over there as well. We got some funny videos. It goes a lot behind the scenes here of Deacon Live. They're not necessarily videos that you see normally on YouTube. It's just a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So if you want to get the insights of what's going on behind the scenes, go over to TikTok as well. Now, we're getting ready to change from 2022 to 2023. I can't take this. I can't take this. You ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Yes, we are on TikTok as well. And the way you find that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts, and you can see all the little icons of where we're located. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all that stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. TikTok's fun because I do all these like little stupid videos behind the scenes stuff here at Deacon Live. So make sure you like and subscribe. I think I've got a whopping, it's still a new account. I think I got a whopping 200 people that are following me. Yes. That's the way I look at it. Now, the new year is coming around. We're getting ready to come out of 2022, go into 2023. God, that sounds so perverted for some reason. And everyone says, you know, new year, new me, new whatever. But there's a couple terms out there that are, I blame TikTok for them, that are coming out there like there's something out there for women, and some men out there might follow this as well. It's called skin cycling, which is basically just changing your moisturizer on a daily basis. But another thing that's popped out of that is something called hair cycling. Hair cycling is just a term that someone coined as a creative and specific. Hair cycling is just a term that someone coined from creating a specific hair care routine, which is a good idea for people with all types of hair. In other words, hair cycling really just means practicing consistent routines to keep your hair and scalp healthy and clean, incorporating different products based on your specific hair type, texture, and needs. While hair cycling is popular for a reason, there are a few things that you should know before getting started. Simply put, hair cycling is a process of creating a specific routine from hair shampoos to conditioners to stylers, and what do you put in your hair at specific times during your day or during the week to achieve different textures and your best hair that you can give. It's more than just having your favorite brand of go-to shampoo. It's all about your weekly or monthly cycle of products that have a different purpose, but are all working together for the common goal of healthy, nourished hair. So here's a TikTok video. Oh, gosh. Of course, it's a TikTok video. And this is Kelsey Griffin, 2Fs, 2N. Kelsey Griffin. And she looks like a Kelsey. So if you want to see this video for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And you can see us in real time over on YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all that stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. So here we go. I'm going to switch cameras here. Hopefully everything's working this time around. I don't see any mistakes or hiccups or anything. So here we go. This is Kelsey Griffin. Unmute, unpause.
And I'm coming to the realization that I think that I've been doing skin cycling, but for hair care for a long time. I usually wash my hair like every 3 to 4 days, so about twice a week. And every time I wash my hair, I do a different type of shampoo conditioner routine. So like one of my washes is like my reset routine. So
now this girl right here, she's got long, straight jet black hair, and it's that part in the middle that they have. She's got nice hair, beautiful hair. And of course she's sitting in the sunlight. What's the beams that come off the sun? And it's making her hair all shine for this video. So it helps.
So it's a detox shampoo and a super hydrating hair mask. Then my next wash, I will use a reparative shampoo, conditioner, or mask. So like something with bond building in it. And then for my next wash, I would use something with like a specific benefit. So like usually for me, it's a smoothing shampoo or a hydrating shampoo, but yours could be like volume, etc. And usually I try to match whatever type of products I'm using when I get out of the shower to whatever I just did in the shower. So like anti-frizz, reparative. I don't know. Is this hair cycling?
Yeah, like you just came up with a new term. So what are the benefits of hair cycling? According to Revi, hair cycling minimizes irritation of the scalp from your products. It reduces potential risk of inflammation from active ingredients or products that have stripping ingredients such as sulfates that give the hair a break from its regular using silicones, which tend to build up on the scalp or hair follicles, leaving more susceptible for irritation. So I can understand that. If you've got long flowing hair like this young lady did here, I mean, her hair is down like past her armpits, over the front, like over her boobs and down past her boobs. You know what I'm saying? She's got really, really long hair. But if you got like short hair, my wife, she goes and gets her hair done every 6 weeks. And, you know, she lives and dies by these certain types of shampoos. And, you know, she's trying to get her hair to be thick and bold but maybe work in some kind of hair cycling routine. Maybe I'll ask her. Well, she listens to the show all the time, but I'll ask her to see what her hairstylist says is about as far as like hair cycling. Like, you know, is this stuff I can buy over the counter? You know, one day use this, next day use this, third day use this, fourth day use this, and then repeat. Now, I wash my hair because I'm a guy. You know, they've got the body lotions and stuff for guys. It's shampoo, conditioner. Now it's all body wash, all in one. So it's 3-in-1. And I can tell I get a little dry scalp when I do that. But I've been using goat's milk, soap made with goat's milk. And I'll use that on my hair because it's designed for your hair and scalp and everything like that. But I can tell after a couple days of using that, my hair feels kind of like straw. My head feels good, like my scalp feels good, but my hair feels like straw. So I'll go in with a nice basic conditioner to kind of loosen everything up. Now, you wouldn't notice looking at me on the camera here, I do have a mohawk. You know, my wife hasn't shaved my sides here in a little bit, but I keep the center tight and right and tight. I keep the sides nice and shaved. Now, women, there's always this myth about guys with big feet have big units. But another study has shown that guys with big nose or males with big nose also has a big hose. This hypothesis is somewhat true. A team of scientists studied noses and genitalia of recently deceased corpses to determine if the big nose, big hose hypothesis is true. The good news is, large nose brethren, for forensic scientists have found that the larger the honker, the larger they are downstairs. Now, they've done this on 26 male corpses for their study. All forensic autopsies cases are from the Kaito. All these studies were done between April of 2015 to 2019. All cadavers with ages between 30 and 50 years old. Their postmortem conducted within 3 days of their death before any major decomposition has taken place. All right, so here we go. Think of this study. Because you need a grant for a lot of these studies. You're going to go to the board of grantees, people who do grants, and say, we'd like to study if a male's yuts and his nose has any size comparability. Okay, how are you going to do this? Well, right before the guy, or right when the guy dies, or right when a male dies, they're going to bring him in there and they're going to do an autopsy on him. And then once the autopsy's done, they're going to go, all right, measure his nose. What's his nose? From the bridge of his nose to the tip of his nose. Oh, it's, I don't know, centimeters. Not European like that. All right, now see how long his yuts is. Now, it's flaccid, but still, the team found out that most highly correlated factors were flaccid penis lengths and hold on. The team found out that most highly correlated factors were flaccid penile length and stretched penile length. No surprises, however. The next biggest correlation between the nose sizes stretched the penile length. The bigger the nose, the larger the erect penis. Now, ladies out there, there's a term that guys use called growers and showers. So, for any of you ladies out there that have seen multiple penises in your life, you understand what this term is. There's growers and showers. So the size of the nose was not found to be strongly correlated to a flaccid penis, but team attributes the elasticity of a small flaccid penis may be greater than that of a large flaccid penis. Hence the term grower and shower. The fact that the nose size is related to the stretched penis length indicates that the penile length may not determined by the age, height, or body weight, but has already been determined before birth. So how does this help forensics? Well, not at all, really. The team just found that the penis length changed as you grew older. This could be used along with prostate volume, which decreases or increases as you get older, in order to help determine age. As it is, what they discover is interesting about becoming is interesting. God, I can't fucking read. As it is, are we still good here? We're a little shady on the back there. As it is, what they discovered is interesting and could become more useful could be useful with more research. As it stands, not immediately applicable. Although the results are useless for forensic purposes, understanding the growing process of the penis and facial features may be very important for extrapolating fetal androgen levels and following men's genitalia functions. The study is first to demonstrate the relationship between SPL, the nose size, but is limited in Japanese cadavers. Oh, really? The team only found a weak correlation between the size of the nose and the weight of your balls as well. This journal was published in May 2021 as well. This is the original article. All right, guys. So if you got a big nose, you got hopefully you got a big honker as well. And the moral of the story is, don't judge a book by its cover. All right, guys, when we come back, one more little topic to get into, or one more segment to get into, and we'll let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts, and it gives you all the links to links us to you and you to us as well. And we'd love to give you some free stuff. And the way you get that is go over to the free swag section, fill out that little form there. We'll send you out some magnets, some stickers, and then some stuff, some free giveaways. We're not going to do anything with your email address or anything like that. I just want to say thank you for listening to the show and being a part of us as well. Just to say thank you. Thank you very much. Here's some stuff for you. Now, we did a story a few weeks back, actually a few months back, about this gentleman right here. You might remember the story. It is a gentleman who was getting robbed, older man, 80 years old, was getting robbed by these teenagers with a stolen car and a bunch of stolen handguns and stuff, and tried to rob the liquor store. And this is the video. I'll switch screens here so you can see it. This is the video that we played a few weeks back.
80-year-old Norco liquor store owner who fired his shotgun in self-defense at an armed robber Sunday told me her husband Craig rarely used his gun. Sheriff's deputies say the 23-year-old suspect hit during the shooting remains in critical condition. A loud blast is heard on the security video and then screams as the gunman runs to the getaway car, yelling over and over, "He shot my arm off." Did he know that?
Shot my arm. He shot my arm. Remember that? He was 80 years old. Well, unfortunately, we have an update about him. The man that was seen in the viral video about him shooting an armed robbery in the liquor store this past July has died. Craig Cope, 80 years old, suffered a heart attack after the robbery, but returned to work and then died this past Tuesday. Three months after the robbery, Cope, the owner of the store, suffered a stroke that robbed him of his ability to walk and talk. Cope's death was announced on the store's Facebook page, which said, "We lost our Craig this morning. I'm sorry. I am without words right now, but I promise not to leave you in the dark." The post promised a memorial, which will be held in the store at a future date. Four suspects were arrested in the robbery, were found with a stolen vehicle with several firearms inside as well. So they found them. They got the guys. Unfortunately, the guy who kicked up a storm and put up a fight, he suffered a heart attack after that and then recovered. And then, unfortunately, a stroke has taken him down, and he has passed away here this past Tuesday, which is sad. I mean, he was 80 some odd years old. These damn bugs on my screen. I swear to God. Now, we can't wrap up the show with a depressing story such as that. So let's get into the feel-good file. Kids praised for warning. These kids are praised for writing a warning note to a neighbor's mom about a strange man on her property. The internet was left in stitches when a group of local kids showed... Where am I going here? Okay, let me go back to this one. The internet was left in stitches when a local group of kids showed up to show how much support they had looking out over their neighbor this past week. In a post on Reddit on December 22nd, Alyssa shared the note that her mom received after her ex-husband came to visit. With over 70,000 upvotes, and a handwritten note was put together by a local group of kids who were concerned after they noticed that Karren Holt's ex-husband heading into their home. The note read, "Miss Karren, 2 R's. We saw a strange man walk into your house, and we would like to know if you're okay. If you are, then text my mom. Love at the whatever phone number. Love the gang." And here's the note right here. I'll switch the camera so you can see it. "Miss Karren with 2 R's. We saw your strange man walk down the house, and we would like to know if you are okay." So there you go. Love the gang, and they whited out the number and stuff. Holt lives in Dallas, Texas, and was so impressed by the note that she had to send it to her daughter, who shares it on the masses online. "Her dad and I are divorced. He came over to help me cover the water faucets and do other things to protect against a cold front that was coming in. Well, he should have come over to my house, checked my AC. He frequently helps me, but he always comes in the back door. Hey-oh. This time, he exited the front door when the kids saw him. When the children saw a strange man walk into the house, they wrote the note and taped it on the door before knocking. I opened the door and saw the kids in the neighbor's yard, but I didn't see the note. I asked them if they know who knocked on my door, and they said yes and pointed at the note like, yes, over there. Wave if you need help. When I read the note, I walked over to them and told them how kind and how thoughtful they were, that I thought that I was in trouble. The oldest is about 11 years old, and the youngest was probably about 6 years old," she says. Elizabeth Rutledge is the mother of Susie, one of the children who left the note. She told us that I was home when Susie and the kids came rushing in, concerned about Karren because they saw a strange man walk into their house. They were fast moving, and they had planned to write a note and put it on her door. But they were out the door again so fast, I never saw the note. They came in, scribbled a note, and just said, and ran right back out there. "We're on a mission, Mom. We're out of here." I think movies are made with this. And then a few minutes later, Susie let me know that Karren was fine, and Karren texted me a picture of the note, and Karren was really touched by their concern. Susie explained herself. "We saw a strange man go into the house and wanted to make sure that Miss Karren was okay. We knocked on the door, but no one answered, so we got worried. When we came over here with a note, we taped it on the door and then knocked again, and she answered." Karren said, "This is so great. What a sweet group of kids." She said, "Well, you know what? You need to buy them something. Show them something for their good efforts of being truthful, lawful, and keeping an eye peeled out and keeping an eye peeled on you. You know, maybe buy them something. You know, don't worry about gift guild or anything like that, kids. You did the right thing. You did a good job. And you should be rewarded for it, whether it be accolations or kudos or something like that, or just a basic, you know, get them an ice cream truck for the day. You know, once it warms up, buy them an ice cream truck today. I'm sure the parents would love that, but do something for them. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and our Facebook page as well. And the way you find that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. You can find all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back. This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi. You try to do a bunch of things. You try to get everything nice and neat and organized. And somehow it just sometimes fails. So, thanks, guys. Bye.